The Nairobi governor, Michael Sonko, is now fighting people he has identified as his enemies, and according to him, and according to some of the names he has given, come from his Jubilee party, and by extension, and because some of them are top civil servants, like Ibicho he has named, Interior PS, by extension it will kind of mean the government is involved at a very high level. Why do you think then they are fighting him? And even before we answer that, I want to suggest that the appointment or the nomination of Miguna by Sonko as his possible deputy must be understood within the context of what is happening in Nairobi and within the context of the handshake and specifically with regards to 2022. Sonko is being fought, no doubt about that, by making life difficult for him, by trying to force a deputy on him, and by even directly and overtly mentioning that they could even impeach him to make him lose his seat. You cannot describe that in any other way except that he's being fought. One would want to ask themselves, why is he being fought? I think there are two reasons. One is already clear. It's about 2022. His association with William Samoei Ruto. But the other one is about Nairobi. There are people in Nairobi who benefit when there's chaos and confusion and poor leadership or lack of leadership. I am tempted to think that just perhaps Sonko really intended to change Nairobi. Maybe in his heart of hearts, Sonko took this job to make a difference in Nairobi. He might have wanted to make Nairobi a cleaner city. Maybe he wants to do something about the transport, the mess in Nairobi, the housing. And certainly the cartels will not be happy. Wakiritimba hawatafurahi. And this is not easy to understand because Nairobi is a big city, big money, big business. With 60% of GDP of the country, Nairobi's economy is bigger than that of many countries in the world, not just Africa. There are small countries whose GDP is not 50% of Kenya's GDP. So the cartels will be fighting back. One would even want to ask themselves, as people fight Sonko, is it really true he can't deliver or he has failed to deliver? There's no better way of addressing this than looking at the regeneration team made up of big people, cabinet secretaries and other big people who gave themselves 30 days to give a report to the president of what they would have done to change Nairobi. They identified specific things to do. Did they do it? No. They came back and said they needed to be given time up to December. Then you begin to laugh. Do you need more than even 2 days to rid Nairobi of the beggars and of the pickpockets? Do you need more than 30 days to handle the chaos brought about by a responsible transportation system in Nairobi? Do you need more than 30 days to rid Nairobi of the borders and of the 14-seater matatus and of vehicles that are completely not roadworthy? Something that will go a long way in easing the transport and the transport in Nairobi. You don't need that. So that tells you, even as some people may be blaming Sonko, there is more than meets the eye. I think the cartels will not allow you to do it. And that perhaps would explain why even Kidero failed. So if Sonko really came with the intention of cleaning Nairobi, he's therefore up to big business. And he's trying to fight back. And he has thrown the contempt card by appointing Miguna. And we may be treated to a lot of drama because Beatrice Elaki, my friend, Speaker of the Nairobi County Assembly, cannot just reject Sonko's nomination. The onus will be on the County Assembly of Nairobi to prove through legal means by going to court that Miguna is a foreigner. The same courts that the government is in contempt of will be asked to aid the Nairobi County Assembly and by extension the government that disobeyed court orders. They will be going to the same court to get orders so that they can reject Sonko's nomination. That will be very difficult. Back to the reasons as to why we are being treated what we are saying in Nairobi today. 2022, I have said that Sonko is a perceived Ruto ally. And a lot of these tantrums being thrown in his way is to weaken him, as indeed many other of Ruto supporters are going to be weakened. Indeed, some people have argued that 2022 is nowhere in the handshake. They have no better explanation than what the president said yesterday. People are coming up and saying, well, Jubilee position has been well articulated by the president, that changing the constitution is not in the mix. I tell them, no, that is wrong. The president never was categorical about that, never. The president just said things. He did not categorically state that there will be no referendum or that he doesn't support the referendum. In any case, the 9-point agenda, if you read it properly, not even implied in black and white, there's a mention of the need to change some of the laws to accommodate what the handshake has in mind. So, definitely, we look at what Sonko is doing. We understand it within the context of the cartels wanting to continue having a field day, making billions from Nairobi. And at the same time, we also look at this nomination of Miguna in the context of 2022. And boy, we're going to see a lot more. A lot more.